And we are live. Welcome to our friends and family meetup, Equine Health. We are talking all about horses today. As I get talking about horses, everybody who has horses has stories, right? I mean, there are train wreck stories. I remember I was up in the mountains with a couple of my boys. We were on a hunting trip, and I had a horse, my steed, Cadillac was her name. She was a feisty mare, and I had her up on this single track trail, and we were supposed to go up the trail, cross this deadfall, and then keep on going. It's a basic move. It's an amateur move, but when you've got 1,100 pounds of 15-year-old, that wants to do their own thing, it can get really interesting. And I ended up doing a little rodeo there and dismounted. She ended up tumbling herself into a ravine and high-centered herself. There were like logs. There's deadfall everywhere. Fortunately, she wasn't hurt. Fortunately, she didn't gouge something. And Kim, if you can mute your line, it went off mute. Kim LaChapelle, if you can mute, thanks. So she ended up not hurting herself, but there we are. She's in this deep ravine, and I got two boys here. One's freaking out. He's like 9 years old, saying we should have never come. And we had to jump down into this hole to get this horse. It was, everybody who owns a horse has a story, and we've got some horse owners and horse caretakers who have some stories tonight. This is an area I think that's really not as explored as could be. Every horse owner wants to know what could they do to help that animal live better and live longer. And from a kid who grew up as a cowboy on a little cattle ranch, I can tell you that when you have to put a horse down, there's nothing good about that day. There's nothing, but you can take the orneriest old coot on a ranch, and if he's got a friend and a horse, there are going to be some tears that are shed that day when you lose a friend. So I'm excited to talk about horse health, something that we're doing and passionate about, NRF2 and DNA activation in the equine world to promote health span and lifespan. So we're going to go to a couple of stories. My storytellers, we've got a number of stories lined up tonight. So we're going to go with 60 seconds or less. All right, 60 seconds or less, so you don't get voted off. You don't get voted off the horse. All right, you don't get voted off the horse. That's how it's going to. It's like this is not an 8-second ride. You got 60 seconds. And we'll go to Bonnie first. Bonnie, tell us your story about equine health.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here. When you're a 6-year-old little boy and your father and his partner's horse wins the Kentucky Derby, you're pretty well in for life. So that's me. I'm still hanging on. 18-year-old mare we had a stillborn foal when we first got into LifeVantage, and had some retained placenta. Next morning, she's got so much pain she wanted to die. Got the death look in her eye, and Seth knows you all know what it is. And we NRF2 activated her. She turned around in a big hurry, and she was 18 when that happened. We raised her from a foal. She's alive and well. She just turned 26, and had in that period she was bred 4 times and had 3 foals. And it's just, we have implemented NRF2 in almost all our horses. We use over a bottle a day at the farm, and what we have seen has been phenomenal. We guesstimate that we save 40 to 50% on our vet bill monthly. So basically, that's my story. Horses are wonderful, and like Seth says, they're very expensive. But where else would you flush your money down the toilet and enjoy it? That's all I got.
Love it, man. That was one of the best 60-second rides I've ever seen in the Zoom arena. Thanks so much. Carolee, will you jump in and tell us what, I mean, you know more about horses in your little pinky than I do in my whole body. So I'm excited. Carolee, we'll give it up to you. So Lisa,
Lily-Ann,
Lisa,
did
why
you
don't
say
you go?
Hi, I'm Lisa Walter, and have kind of two horse stories, and I'm very grateful to Kara Lee. She's the one who got me started on all of this. My first one is I had a rugged lark son, quarter horse, and he stopped sweating. And any horse in Florida that doesn't sweat is going to be extremely miserable. So he only could just stand under a tree in the shade through the summer and nostrils flaring just to try to get relief. Well, of course, I bought every supplement, tried each one. I did the money back guarantee patch and got my money back because that didn't work. And I also would take him 2 hours down the road to a chiropractor who was known to get a horse to sweat. And he didn't sweat. Then I found a acupuncturist that was here locally, and he could get some relief maybe for a few days. Then I started him on the Protandim and our NRF2, and he gave him a loading dose, then gave him one every day. And when the acupuncturist came out for his spring startup, it was the very next day. He was dripping in sweat, dripping. And it was so fabulous because then you could ride him. And it has been 2.5 years now. He's activated once a day. And I've been able to show him all the way through the summer. And he's #2 horse for Western dressage in USEF. So it's really phenomenal that he was able to really release and do that. The second exciting horse was at the time she was 27, and she had a lot of pain, difficulty moving. She couldn't, if she laid down, she could not get up. And that one summer we had to call the vet out because she didn't have the strength to get back up. And we used ropes and we got her up, and inevitably I knew that was going to happen again and was fearful it would happen shortly. Well, we activated her and she started running around and cantering through the pastures, and she just did fabulous. And I got 3 more wonderful years with her. And that was all from, the activation, I truly believe, because she was really having a hard time before that. So I miss her a lot, but she lived to be 30 years old. So very happy. So that's my story.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Lily-Ann, why don't we go to your story, and you let me know
Okay.
when you're ready for those picks.
I'm ready. So those of you that have horses, and you know that horses get injured very easily, and then when they have deep wounds, it is really, the management is really complicated, right? Keeping the wound clean and not have flies on it. So I don't know which picture we're going to see first, but okay, perfect. So this is a horse that he's an 18-hand 7-year-old at the time that injury occurred. He was a hunter under saddle that had qualified for the World Show, and he stuck his foot in a fence, and it cut through his flexor tendon all the way to the bone. And you can see it. Well, I don't have to explain it. And they told the owner that this injury had almost like 0 chance of recovery, like to ever be able to go back to competition. So they started him. They double dosed. He was taking 2 NRF2 pills a day. And then you see there, it's been like a month. And the vet came back, did an ultrasound, and he said the tendon was fine, that it had minimal scarring. And actually, the owner had been told that it would be at least 10 months before they could even start mild, riding him again just a little bit. And he said, no, you can start right away because he needs to be stretched. So he was cleared after a month of that injury. And then the other one is also an injury. This is a horse. I don't know how he did that, but it was in his nose, in his nostril. And what they did, they were applying the NRF2 anti-aging cream, which is the one that also Kara Lee, you'll see now the pictures from Kara Lee. And you can see, I don't have the timeline, but you can obviously see how this wound started healing very fast, and there's almost no scarring, almost no scar at all at the end. So this is the power of flipping that NRF2 switch on the inside, on the outside, the results are absolutely incredible to have this fast turnaround in the horses. So those are the two stories that I have.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Let's go to Carolee Gold in Florida and have her. I'm gonna bring up a picture and let Carolee basically explain. She knows more about horses in her pinky. I'm even gonna say in the pinky nail than I do in my entire body. So Carolee, go ahead and I'll load your picture.
Okay. My friend's horse had a growth on its belly, and it was pretty big. You'll see in the picture how big it was. They started treating it so simply with, they gave the horse NRF2, Protandim NRF2 orally, and then they started treating it with twice a day with the True Science anti-aging cream. And you can see how big it was. And within several days, it falls off. It falls off in his hand. And then you can see how it starts to heal. On day 21, look at it. It's healing really well. On day 27, it's just one of those little dry skin areas. In August, now the horse had, this is a year later, and the horse had absolutely no issue. It didn't come back. It totally went away. And these problems frequently return. And this was all done with no surgery, no blood, no vet bills, simply NRF2 orally and the anti-aging cream rubbed on it twice a day. Great results.
Love it.
Thank you for the picture.
Thank you. If you ask me, give me a second chance and I can really do well. Thank you, everybody. I want to thank all of my guest speakers, our guest speakers who've been on our friends and family broadcast tonight. For those who own horses, for any child who owns horses, their horse is their world. I remember those growing up on the farm, those horses that kicked me over the fence, they were my world, silky and satin. Still remember them to this day. So NRF2 activation for mammals, okay? Humans, horses, dogs. Tonight we're talking about horses. According to Washington State University, and there are over 10,000 studies on documenting and researching at top tier universities around the world. You can find all these studies on pubmed.gov. But Washington State University said about NRF2 activation that it may be the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine, and, quote, raising NRF2 may likely be the most important health promoting approach into the foreseeable future. Our 3 horses go through a bottle every 10 days because each of them get a pill, 30 pills, 3 pills a day, right? Each horse gets 1 pill a day, and that goes my kids feed our horses 1 pill every single day because it's the number one thing I could do to promote that health. So with that, I want to talk about promoting, about sharing the message. We do these educational pieces about healthcare and how they affect people and pets every single week. And we do them for our customers because we realize that customers who take care of their health might want to take care of their family's health or their friend's health or the friend's horse's health. So I want to turn the mic over to Eileen, our CEO, Eileen Whipple, to talk about one method of doing that, and we call it the friends and family discount. So I'll give it up to you, Eileen.
All right, thank you. Hey guys, I'm excited to share this program with you because I'm so inspired by these stories tonight. And who doesn't want to share things when you know that they are good and beneficial for other people? And as you heard tonight, they're beneficial for people and for our loved ones of those animals. So I want to share with you the way the program works really briefly. And if you have any questions, get back to the person who invited you tonight so they can give you the details that you need. So if you share your unique link, which I'll show you how to get that with your friend, he gets $10 off of his first order of LifeVantage, and you get a $10 credit towards your next order. And then you invite and you share it with some other friends and family, and they get $10 off of their order, and you get now $20 off of your next order. And then you share it with another friend and family, and they get $10 off their order. The cool thing is now you have $30 off your order, and there are no limit to the credits you can earn. The more you share, you're benefiting others, and the more that you're being able to have those discounts for yourself. So those discounts are automatically applied to your next order, which is really simple. You don't have to keep track of it, and they just need to be spent by the end of the following month. So the action steps you need to take: one, who do you know who needs to have this information about their horses, their other mammals, the dogs, and the humans that we're dealing with, right? And send them your unique link, and then connect them with who shared this with you. So how do you find your link? I just need you to remember one thing, and that is lifevantage.com. If you go to lifevantage.com, it populates this page, and you see your unique link down here at the bottom of the page. After you put in that, it's going to send you to this unique link finder where you're going to put in your appropriate information. And then this will populate to where you can share it on any media platform that's comfortable for you. If you go into your back office, there's right there, share 10, get 10. It populates that page with the unique link, and there's your credits that you've earned. So that's basically what it is. You get to share 10 and you get to get 10. So get your unique link, share with those who you love and care about, and best of all, feel better and do more.
Love it. Thank you so much, Eileen, for sharing. I want to wrap up our friends and family. Two things that we're doing in the digital world right now for customers. Number one, free shipping. If you put this product on a subscription order, right, it's free shipping. Everything you ever order, right, is free shipping if you're on subscription, which is absolutely phenomenal. Number two, money back guarantee. All right, 30 days. And, I mean, to be quite honest, I tell all of my friends who are starting this health protocol, right, this health approach, listen, if you're not going to be serious about this for 90 days, why are we even talking, right? Because like 90 days is your baby step. But I also understand the psychology of the consumer. And sometimes it's just like it's a matter of trust, right? It's a matter of trust in, is what was communicated to me what I'm going to be delivered, right? Is there authenticity here? And I think one of the things that we're doing in the business world is to make sure that we can lower the barrier so that anybody who wants to experience those results in their person or in their horse or whatever can do that with the least amount of risk or the least amount of concern, right? The least amount of drawback. So 30-day money back guarantee. That's an empty bottle policy. Use it for 30 days. And if you didn't like it, then call the company and they'll give you your money back, right? Now, the loss is on you because you're not going to be on the product, but that is the guarantee. How do we take care of people? It's not about business to business. It's not about business to customer. It's not B2B or B2C for those of you who speak business lingo. I'm going to drop this as we end it. It's P2P, person to person. Everything that really matters in this world, even in our business world, is person to person. So we call that friends and family. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Tuesday evening. If you want the recording, because you got some rodeo people, some cowboys, some cow chicks, then get the recording, DM whoever brought you here, get that ASAP, be the crowdy who wants to get that first, and we'll make sure that you get that. So God bless everybody. Appreciate you being here. Thanks everybody who made this a success, and hi-yo silver and away.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Great
Thanks,
story,
everyone.
everyone. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.